All right. Well, thanks for joining in, guys. Always a pleasure. Yep, this is our last one for the sessions. 8 weeks is a long time to paint, but you guys did well. Okay, we're going to be done for about a month. So you guys are going to have to work on your own. I don't want you guys just going on vacation. You have to do some painting. Put some of these things we've done painting wise into it. I'm not worried about most of you, but there's a couple of you guys out there who need to just keep painting there, Lisa, not take off and go on vacation all the time.
Sorry.
Last week we were working on this one from Giverny in Monet's lily pad pond. You guys followed me very well, and you guys did wonderful on it. I went back into mine a little bit, and I did brighten up my blues a little, just one more step. They were just a little dull and a little flat, so I basically just added blue to my color. And even I think I had you guys going with a oxide red and blue mix stuff. I switched over to a alizarin and blue mix too a little bit, just to brighten it up, give a couple changes and stuff. We had that mix, but I didn't really push it on you guys. So that was it. That would turn out really great. I was really happy with that. But today we are going crow hunting. We're gonna hunt crows, and we got to be very, very quiet. Okay. Yes, this is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be fun because what we're gonna do is we had 8 weeks, and we learned a lot of different things. We worked on colors. We worked on cools and warms. We worked on contrast to colors, and also value of colors. Values, trying to get the values tight. And this one kind of has the whole shebang in it. Also, that we use some techniques. We started using brush techniques. We used palette knife, and we did a few things. So this painting is going to have pretty much everything we're going to have done in it. And that's what I'm going to try and do, is try to put everything in it, all together in it. Okay, I sent you guys this one, right? This one with the green background and everything. I hate that green background. Well, I don't hate it, but I changed it. I'm going to change it to a brown background.
Wow.
Kind of burnt, kind of orange brown, because blue and green are really next to each other on a color wheel. If I go with brown, which is on the orange side, it's straight across and it's a complementary color. Works a little bit better and more favorable.
Can you,
favorable
Jim, can you hold that up again? I just want to see. Can you? Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay.
See?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can see all that brown that's in here.
Yeah.
You don't see any green there, really. So why not? So let me pull it up, and we'll talk about it. Here we go. See, this is what I sent you guys, which is beautiful. It's really not bad at all. That's where we want to go. So, I mean, it works all right, but as you can tell, as a photo and everything, it looks really great. But I'm looking at trying to really make it feel like a painting, and this feels more like a painting to me. This one feels more like a photo, that a snapshot, because that green is just so strong in it. I don't know. I'm saying I'm not going to do it, but who knows if I'm going to, I might throw green in there. So we'll work on this one. Really decent design. Really, nice arc to it. You have a nice stance.
Wait a minute. Can you, I'm sorry to interrupt, but can you send us then this photo at some point so we can, with the brown background? Well, it
No,
doesn't have to be right now, but,
yes, I'll send it to you.
all right.
We're just gonna mix the colors. You guys are gonna have to pay attention and mix colors the way I want to mix. That's all it is.
Okay, all right.
Okay, wait a minute. We're done. We're moving on. What's really nice about this one is it is a good photo. It really is a good photo. I mean, it has a really nice perch, and feet. I mean, I've tried to. This is not my photo. Came from one of the photo sharing sites, and I've tried to shoot crows for a long time, and usually they're all black. I mean, my camera's just you can never get close enough to them. I don't have a long enough lens. But this is pretty nice when you can see see the feet like this. Definition, you can see that little thin leg it has, and then you can see all this detail in that back wing, and the wings back there. Really, really interesting. Some beautiful little blues and grays in there. So that's going to be real fun to paint and real fun to work at. And its head, it's nice, got a good clean eye here. Just a nice little reflection on top, very clean. The beak is perfect. Got a little bit of overbite at the end there. Look at that's good things to remember when you're drawing it in. And then the background. Now, yeah, I took that background and I just took the green out, replaced it with more of an orange than a green. Basically, just shifted it. And I think it works a lot better. I think it's going to work overall a lot better. But what I want to do on this guy is, besides mixing the colors and painting this guy really nice, getting some really nice things, I definitely want to get some nice knife work in here. There's some nice areas here that are calling for, knife work, little good beads and strength of line. With that knife, I think there's some really good things that are going. But the background. Now, we've taken away colors. We've practiced that, removing colors, putting it on and removing it, and adding colors with palette knife and things like that. So we're going to be putting that together for this background. I've done this once before, and it works out pretty well. It's that when you have some fun with the background and attack it in different ways, instead of just attacking it, using it as a color scheme, but not using it as a form back there. Sometimes works out better because everything is a soft shot. It is very soft back there. So there's no need for us to have to stay within the parameters of a tree limb or anything else like that. Yeah, maybe here we stay a little tighter towards the branch he's sitting on. I wouldn't stay too long. It's one of those things, I want to lose pretty much everything. I want this to be a lot of cross hatching, a lot of scraping, a lot of racing, and moving colors around, and a lot of little transparency colors going on. See, it's done. It's done, just like that. That's what I'm going to be trying to do. It's going to go pretty fast. This is going to be a fast, pretty good painting. I think we'll easily get it done today. Your drawings, the toughest part in the drawing is probably, of course, the wings and the feathers, but really, if you hit, get these main feathers and get this part of the wing and a little bit of this stuff, that stuff's pretty easy to see and do. This stuff is just a few arcs with your brush, and then his head, as we get in there, we cannot really define too much there, but there are a few things there of little wicks, little twists of the brush and things, but nothing like screams out at me that it's a giant, it's a feather like the ones down below, like these ones around his neck. So really just hitting the eye, getting a little bit of the eyelids. He got a nice shadow from the eyelid too. That always helps give the eye dimension, getting that shadow on the eyeball. And then just this little, little, eye area back in there, that part where it just sinks in a little bit. And that's going to be real interesting to paint, really interesting to paint. You can almost see down here where the feathers have just started, on this guy, how the feathers have just kind of crawled up over his beak over time, that his beak could go almost all the way back into here. There's this one little line right in here. So that's really cool. That's a big beak. So that's it. So if you guys want to do green, I'm not going to say no. You can do whatever you want. You can try it. That'd be fabulous if you guys want to try it too. You can always, repaint it, if you want. It's no big deal. I'm just going to try to attack it in a little bit different manner. I just don't want to. I thought this one was more handsome, and I need handsome. I definitely need a lot of handsome. So that's where I'm going with it. Any questions?
Is the bird going to be more blues and purples than the browns?
Yes.
I mean, okay.
There's
that's
only
what
a
I
few.
see.
There's only a few little areas. You can just see spots of warmth in there, and those, I would say those ones will probably be more not even brown. I'm not gonna try and bring any of this stuff exactly, into this part, but I'm going to try to slide it in. I'm going to break this hard line around him by, just pushing little nuggets of little colored pushes into him a little bit here and there, not the same everywhere, but it's just to break, especially when you got a line like this that's so hard and stuff, just a little push in with a finger or back in here, just really loosens the guy up. And so that's what I'm gonna be looking to do. That's the thing, is practicing those little softening techniques. You can do it. You can do a finger rub on this thing and soften it. But sometimes you don't want to get too much done, but sometimes it's just a notch into these guys with the background being pushed in. We'll take care of the softening too. We'll kind of take that curse of the hard line away. That's just another way to look at this. And usually that stuff is always at the end, and I'm not gonna, gonna paint it the way I want, and then I'm gonna, take my time and decide where those little push-ins and things need to be. But that's in the plan. So, all right. Any other
Sounds
questions?
good.
All right, folks, we are moving on to the big palette, and I need to put colors out too. I forgot. No. Yeah. Let me see. See, I don't even have all my colors out. That's how relaxed I am today about going through this one. Just flying through it. I'm going to make sure I got some white out. Definitely some blue. Burnt umber. Lizarin. Got phthalo green. Got some cad red. Do have cad red out. I don't need it. Cad yellow. I'm good with that. And white. You can always use white. And usually, here it is. Just stay with titanium ones. Nice shot of my bag. What do you guys think? Nice shot? Yeah. I'm so excited. Okay, let me put this back down. All right. So I have CAD yellow out. I got CAD orange, CAD red light, CAD orange, CAD red light. This is just some CAD red medium. It's out. It's been out there now for about a week. And the great thing about cadmiums, you know, they might be expensive, you know, a lot more expensive, but they do not dry as fast as some other colors. Ochre, which does dry pretty fast, is there. I'm going to put some alizarin crimson out, which for those with Rembrandt, it is rose madder. Blue. Oh, wait. I have it out here. This is not. This will do it. This is just Venetian. I'll use Venetian. Okay, oxide red right at my fingertip. Venetian's pretty close. It's probably just a hair cooler. Not too bad though. Close enough. Do need some blue out. This was almost a full one from my workshop. And those guys, they told me they could use free paint. And they just used up the whole tube. Those people. Burnt umber. Burnt umber is the one I was talking about drying very fast. This guy, I used this guy a few times this week. And I swear my painting was dry that day. Because if you get burnt umber in anything, it just like dries very fast. So sometimes it's good to put it in the background if you want a fast dryer. It'll work.
Jim, I don't have burnt umber. I have raw umber. What could I make it out
Raw
of?
umber. Do you have raw sienna?
Yes, I do.
Or burnt sienna?
I do have burnt sienna. Yeah.
Okay, take some burnt sienna and just put a little bit of blue in it.
Okay.
Let me see if I should have burnt sienna in here too. There it is. Oh, okay, I was meant to put this out too. There's burnt sienna. I think you put just a little bit of blue into that. It'll
Okay.
turn it.
Okay,
You'll
good.
get it close enough. You'll need both. We'll put both out there. We don't want you being wrong.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Big brushes, big ideas, right, folks? Got some big brushes we're going to use to have this thing. Then we're going to work to our medium-sized brushes. And then we're going to dive into our eraser a lot and palette knife. So I'm going to be using all these guys today. So I'll be flipping around. Most of it will be in the beginning. I must say, most of it. Here we go. I'm bored.
Jim, what white are you using?
What white is just titanium?
Okay.
Okay. Color wise. Well, since I'm going this one, you guys see, you guys got to make it up when you're doing the green. You got to figure it out yourself. All right, let's start off the blues and purples, and then we'll work towards the browns. Blues and purples for this guy. Definitely, we're going to try some. First, we're going to go with some blue and oxide, or I have Venetian out back today. Why? Because I just happened to forgot to order oxide. I do have some oxide out to play with, but it's not the exact same one. So let's play with just Venetian for now. So I'm going to go with this blue and Venetian or oxide here. Yeah. One on the red side, one on the blue side, maybe just one might be just a touch too red just because of it's too bright. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more blue to it, get it closer to this value. It kind of jumps when they have too much red in it. That's pretty good. We'll go with that. Other colors I'm gonna have some phthalo green and alizarin. This I want a pretty straight mix. And more I want a little bit on the green, a little bit of green showing through. Figure I see that in the head. So this is pretty much good, it's almost slightly green mix. Let me take it over here and just put a little more red into it. Let me see, that might, I'm gonna leave it there because of, I might bring some green. I can always bring green into it. So that's gonna
That's
help
blue,
me
and
get,
that's green and what, red?
alizarin.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Also, I want some grayed down colors, grayed down blues. And of course, I'm going to go with blue and burnt sienna. This color too, you're going to find pretty heavily in the background. Definitely, this is on the blue side. Doesn't take much. This is like that burnt umber I was telling you to make there, Linda. Just by adding blue to the burnt sienna,
Yeah.
you kind of you get it. And then we're gonna go with more burnt sienna on this side. That was just a lot of burnt sienna. Okay, let's just keep that there. Yeah, kind of want to keep it there. I want to keep it a little bit bluer. Too big of a jump. Okay. And now it's back the other. Good enough. I want to get some red browns. So I will go with some burnt umber. And I'm going to go with some cad red into it. Ooh, that's a beautiful color.
Cad red and umber.
Cad red and umber. That's simple. It's so simple. All right, I'm gonna leave that there. That's pretty much gonna do everything on this painting. Let me see. I might want one more. I need one more blue green. I don't have blue green. So I'm gonna have to make one more color, blue and green. There's some shimmering effects going on in here if I don't have blue green. See, that's on the blue side, just a little bit more on the green side. Doesn't take much. It should take much to get that on the green side. Bring it down a little bit. You guys can see that, right? There we go. Now you can start to see the green shirt showing through. I'm going to take each one of these guys down with just a little bit of white. I'm trying to shoot for in here probably, and if you squint, it's not bad. It's running around a 5. So I'm going to go for a 5 in the scale. I'm going to get rid of this green. Well, I'm going to leave the green one just because it soaks up oil, but get anything on it. So let's go bring these guys, pieces of these guys down to about a 5. See what that does. Start over here. This is blue and phthalo green. This one, trying not to touch my brown too much because that will just really make a mess. This is on the blue side. And we can see, yeah, that's definitely in there. That's gonna be nice. It's gonna, both these colors be nice. That one's probably a little light. Trying to keep them just a little, yeah, there you go. A little darker. Maybe they're on the bright side. They might not even go any, this thing might not even go any brighter than these right here. This is the burnt umber and cad red. Don't know, you know, you might see it in here a little bit, but I was doing it mostly for like background. That's burnt umber and cad red. Might be able to get it back in here. But I'm trying to do that with a very thin paint. Burnt umber and no, this burnt sienna and blue. Burnt sienna and blue. That's what this is. Yeah, you can start to see that, how that goes in here. Really nice. So, of course, I have such a small pile of it. And I'm gonna take that to probably, that looks like right at a 6 right now, which is good for the background. So 6, 7 for the background. This is on the blue side. This should be a nicer gray. This is a nice color. I think this is gonna be a nice color because I think I can get it in here in this area here too of the bird. So going to have some nice things. It's going to probably going to be able to use it around the feet. Some colors there. So that's that. Okay, this is phthalo green and alizarin. On the alizarin side, this, see this purple. Oh boy, that's beautiful. You know, that's a great purple. Just to, you know, even though it's wrong, it's a nice purple to get. But you might be able to find a few spots in here, in the wings and in things like that. Always add a little green to that, tints it up. This one, I'm gonna wipe my knife. It's on the blue-gray side. This is beautiful color. You could see that in here, into his face, and into these areas here. It starts to work. Definitely. And I don't know. At least I know the colors. I can always remake them because I've got very thin piles. I just did not. Shame on me. Okay, blue and this is Venetian, but it could be oxide red. And it could be a few other things. Could be Terra Rosa. Too. But this, I was going for this basic blue. And you can see that guy's all over in here. That's really good. So I'm going to make a bigger pile of this one. Just, I don't need that much dark. So I can make a little bit bigger pile because I'm going to take it down just here, a little bit down in here. Because I want to kick it off and get all the variations of colors that are going on in here with this pile.
And
But I'm going to finish
you
off my other one.
can you
first.
repeat what that pile is? Can you repeat the original colors?
It's oxide red and blue, or
Right.
I have Venetianed it out today. So
Got
it's basically one or the other you have, if you have, you're very close, or
All right.
Terra Rosa. This is on the red side. I want to take this and make it the exact same value as that. And I went probably a little light. There you go, darken it up a little bit more with the home pile. And you'll be able to see that guy all in here. You can see it in the wings and stuff. That's beautiful. Okay, save some color. All right, I'm gonna take this pile here. This is the blue and oxide red or Venetian pile that's on the blue side with white. this side, I'm gonna hit it with some, well, I was gonna hit it with some, I'm just thinking more blue. Really push the blue, I think. I do need a lot of blue in this guy. And so if I push the blue, if I added green, it's gonna look just like that. So I'm gonna add blue to it, make it so it looks a little different. That will help me get into a few of these other areas down here in the wings and stuff like that. Might be a little dark, so add white to it. I'm gonna add white to it, just a piece of it. I want to keep it a little dark. There are a lot of nice darks, but just a little bit to get it back to that color. Okay.
Yours
Keep
looks
it-
purple and mine doesn't. Mine looks dusky blue.
Just push the blue a little bit more in it. Are you using the Venetian?
Yeah, I have Venetian.
Okay. Yeah, just push the blue then.
Oh, shoot.
All right, this one is right down the middle. Has just a little oxide red into it like that. Let's I'm gonna put some warm red into it. Some cad red into it, so I put cool into that. I'm gonna put a little cad red into this, just to give me a dirty kind of a red to play with too. Red purple. Cheating it even a little bit more now. So it
What-
looks different.
What are you putting the red into?
I took it and put it into a little bit of pile from this oxide red and blue here on the
Okay,
blue side.
Yeah.
I split it into two piles.
Okay.
This one I just put in loud blue into it.
Yeah.
But then I split it and add some more white to it to get it back value wise.
Yeah.
This one came from there too. This is just cad red. Just
Okay.
a little bit of cad red added to it. Gave me
Okay.
that really kind of a dark purple. That's going to be all over in some of these areas on the out edges of his wings. And you're probably going to find it even in this twig going he's sitting on. And it'll probably be a nice transitional color from him to the background too. You're probably going to find it right up there too. It's just a little dark. So but I don't have that many really, value wise, it works up here. So these guys, I'm just going to take a little piece of it and add a little bit of white to it to get a little bit lighter. But what I should do is probably take all these guys down one more step. And I can get a lot of lighter colors. That's what I should have been doing. But I don't need that many. I really only need a few light ones in here and some purple ones and some blue purples. And I think these guys are going to be probably enough. If I just took these blues here and these blue greens here and took those guys just a little bit lighter too, a little bit of a pile. I can use those guys like with that purple, a little bit lighter. Oops, got a little green into it, but that's cool. In there too. So I have a little bit of colors to play with. And I got my darks here for the eyes and for the underbellies and things like that. Do need a little more phthalo here and blue and alizarin mix. A little bit wiped out. Okay. Background. Like we said, pretty simple. Nothing too major. I'm thinking about these browns here and grays here being just whitening them out and being able to get the rest of this stickies sitting on. So if I bring these guys up to about, they're pretty high, but I'm going to try to keep them right around fours too. I don't want them to jump out too much because it's at the bottom of the painting. And if I let them take over, they will just, you know, it'll be a stick at the bottom of the thing. I just kind of want to lose the idea of the stick in the whole thing. I just want to kind of blend into the background. So I'm going to add just a little more richness to it. Be able to get in here. Probably same over here too. I could use just a little more burnt sienna, sorry, in this color. And finish off some straggling points. Okay. So that's pretty much the crow colors. And then we're going to start with some background colors. I got most of them, I think, in here. Just wish I would have made bigger piles. One color I definitely want to have, though, I don't have there, is the burnt umber and phthalo green. See how rich and warm that is. That's going to add some lot of warmth to this. So this is on the burnt umber side, and this is going to make the painting dry. Probably by morning, the painting will be dry because it's burnt umber just dries so quick. So I gotta have a lot. Knowing that, you gotta have a lot done before it gets too sticky. So I'm gonna add just a little more green to this for when I pull it down. You start to see this color. This is just such a beautiful color. That'll be great behind it. And then mixed with a little bit of the phthalo green mixed in, and then some of the reds to push in further. That'll be great. So that color, burnt umber and cad red. Just want to fill that one up. All right. I'm going to go through the colors again and talk, and then we'll get a painting. Okay, over here we started off with oxide red or Venetian and blue. This is straight up, no white. This is on the blue side of Venetian and blue. Bringing those down, you can see the red on this side with white. We'll bring it down to probably around a 5-ish. These guys, you can start to see, you can see the red in this side, red, purple, and this being kind of a cool purple on the blue side. And then I brought them down one more. Took this one, I definitely think is going to be all over in this guy. So I took a piece of him, split it apart here, added more blue to it, added just a little bit, took that pot, added just a touch of white to it, just to lighten it up to get it closer to this. Over here, I took and I added cad red to it, just a little bit of cad red to it. And then I added just a little bit of white to it because it's got kind of dark. And I took a piece of it and added some white to it because I figured that's going to be in these wings, all over in these wings. And probably these stripes you see in the wings here, these white, they're going to be purple. Okay, they're not white. There's no such thing as white in this painting. So it's going to be purple. This cool purple. Hear me? That's it. All right. Phthalo green and purple are the alizarin up here. This is on the phthalo green side. This is on the blue, red side. Coming down with just a little bit of white to get into around it, right around the 5 again. Didn't take them any farther. I mean, I could. If I do, I'll probably take them only to right about this brightness. I think this is stuff right here is going to do the trick. I don't need too many purples. These guys are going to do some nice mixing and get all these colors. I don't want to mix them up too much on the palette today. Here we have blue and, oh, that's what that was. This is blue and burnt sienna. And it came down. This is supposed to be burnt blue and burnt sienna, and I made it, well, that, no wonder it doesn't look right. It was supposed to be burnt sienna and blue too, but on the burnt sienna side. but I haven't, I'm kind of made a burnt umber and blue mix there. Or red burnt umber and red, because I go, it should be burnt umber and red, because that's burnt umber and red. And so I kind of forgot what I was doing here. So this should be burnt umber and blue, which I just did. I added some blue to it. And I mean, it's make up for it by adding some burnt umber. But I mean, that's how you do it. You can mix burnt umber. We've talked about making burnt umber with burnt sienna, which is adding blue. And now we made a burnt sienna just by taking burnt umber and adding red. So, you know, you don't need all the colors. This is where, you know, limited palette can come in handy. But these are burnt umber and blues mixed up. This is on the blue side. This is on the burnt umber side with white. And I brought them down one more time. And then over here we have a burnt umber and I said burnt umber. It should have been burnt sienna, blue, blue. This is burnt umber and red. Had red coming down with white, and here I added just a little bit more red to it. Okay, burnt umber. Oh well. Hey, blue and phthalo green. This is on the blue side. This is on the phthalo green side. We've added white to it and got it down to about a mid-tone break. You know, it's right around the 6. And then we added some white to it. Down here, for a lot of the background colors, we're gonna be using a lot of darks and stuff too for the background colors. This is burnt umber and phthalo green. This is on the burnt umber side. This is on the phthalo green side. You know, I might even tone my panel with this burnt umber and phthalo green. So that's what I'm going to do. In that way, the whole painting will dry. Whew. Any questions? Let's go back. I'm going to get my thing set up over here. A lot of things shut off on me. Okay. Gotta get the panel too. I'm just gonna do like a 20 by 16 too. Something simple. That's why I don't like that knife. It's in a brick blade. No stiffness, then I can't even cut the plastic. All right. Coming back. Hey, my camera's, I didn't know my camera flipped on me. Sorry about that, guys. This one won't. I'm gonna bring you guys in while we go through this. Whew. All right, fun. Get this guy over here. All right. All right. So, like I said, first thing I'm gonna do, we're gonna be using a lot of techniques today. Gonna try to practice a lot of those ones where we put paint on, take it off. We put, you know, transparency, so we have some loose strokes underneath. We can have this background done before we even paint the bird. That's what I'm hoping for. All right. So that's what I'm working for. That's why I'm gonna use a big brush. Gonna put out some oil. Like I said, I'm going to start with just start with some burnt umber and white. And then I'll work in the other colors as I get going, as this gets going. So. Definitely, I think the design was definitely keeping out of the center, right? So keeping them all over here to this side. Really good idea. Don't worry about too much about the post or he's sitting on. That goes right here. You know, you can keep it thinner. You don't have to paint it as thick as it is on the thing there. Sometimes thinner is usually better for these things for art. Except for with me. Look at me. You gotta be heavy duty. Oh yeah. All right. So get this color in here, have some fun. Just really right now, it's just getting this thing to take paint. You can see how dry it is. It just grabs that first coat of oil, just sucks it in. I'm just gonna rub it in. Hopefully, some of this texture I'm putting in now, I'm thinking about texture for the background. It's just, you know, rubbing this thing in softly. A little different direction. So I can use some of that. Thinking about it. Tone inside area where he's going to be working it a little bit. Okay. All right. So thinking about it, okay, he's gonna go and have that thing in here. One thing about that branch, I definitely give it a little bit of a twist, you know, so it looks a little more natural than a stick, you know, a hard stick. So give it a little bit of a movement here will be good. You know, just coming in here, and that's all I'm going to show there. Behind him, that's where I'm going to go start to put in some colors. Keeping it loose, heavy in the corners maybe. Coming across. I'm looking for transparencies. I'm not looking for too thick of paints. I want brush strokes. I want overlap of color, lightness. That's what I'm looking for when I say transparencies. Yeah, I want a little bit of everything in there because I want that. I want that kind of same feeling to go into his feathers too. That blends into his feathers. As I go up, I'm going to go switch to more of the green side of it. So up here, it's just, you can't tell, but that's more green. As I put a little more oil in my brush, it will come flying out. There we go. And then I made this one where I made a little burnt umber and red, a little bit of that. Burnt umber red on this side a little bit, bringing it in, working it into that color. And that'll be about it, I think. I'm not gonna work too hard on this. Trying to get a few different kind of strokes in there. I got short ones, stubby ones, and then a couple really kind of, you know, really long slashes, maybe some thinner. Maybe I'll twist my brush a little bit and get a few of those kind of things in here too. Added in. So I get a little bit of texture and some fun play. I don't want too much of a hole here. So let's seal it off a little bit. A little more green towards the inside here, towards the bird. Okay, now we can draw it in. Okay, now, where was that post? Oh, geez, it's gonna go right in here. So, goes right there. Post goes right in here. So it just doesn't have to have too much. Just a little bit of, don't even be too thick. I don't want to, it's not important. Tail here comes in, and it tells me there, it goes in here, a little triangle. What I'm looking at too here, I got lucky and did a few kind of brush strokes that kind of went in the right direction. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky. So this is going to be coming around to do his body here. They're getting a little high, so let's bring it back. This shouldn't be too much longer. Yeah, about this length for his tail to almost to his neck. So, and that only comes over here a little bit. This also comes around like this. You start to get the leg in here, coming in here from that area. Then leg, back leg. See, well, those marks are good marks. Kind of remember how things are going in, because that's almost like a good leg, in fact, right away. For his talons and stuff down here in here. I kind of think that's not a bad marking. Okay. Big thing, finish up drawing. Okay, cut that head, get that angle. I don't want to get too high, of course, right? So his shoulder and to the top of his head are about the same. These guys are the same length. So I know if I got this is like a one, almost 3/4. So this is one and about 3/4. So it's right about there. That's where his head's going to be, turning. And, that's about it. That's about as close as you need. His head's they're going to be parallel right here a little bit. His neck, to that, and then going to soften out and go to his beak. Right here, his beak. You split this head here. So I swear it's got to be about the same length. It looks like it's the same length. His beak, if you split, yeah, you come out here. So his beak's going to start here. So that's the length of his head. That's going to be the length of his beak. And not to that line. Okay, and then so these guys just has a gradual little roundness to the top of his head, and then just a slight softening to a turn of his beak. Right there, that tells me right here is his nose or his hair hole. So that's the lower part of his eye. Eye goes above that. And that's it. That's our crow. That should do it. That's how tough this guy was. Birds are to do. we're done. I'll see you guys next week. Well, we're not playing next week. So, anyway. So now I'll just go in and just figure out a few of these, where these leaves are, or leaves, sorry, feathers. You know, feathers come down and go in here and stuff, and you know, one goes from the one side and one comes to the other. The shoulder is sort of there, a little softer turn. Looks like I got a little thick right in here. Okay, so you guys have all this. We sort of have the middle of this back. You know, it's almost as like it has a collar up halfway down where it's all triangles coming down. And then they kind of blend over and they come into like, you know, one really big feather and then a half, you know, two smaller half feathers on the sides. And this one coming in from up here, covered up mostly with another thing. It comes down a little farther. Okay. So yeah, I don't lose it. You lose it really quick. So I'm going to pull out some paint here, just with my finger here, and just see about the drawing. Get the drawing a little more straightened away. Looking at this big feather behind him here. Looking at that feather. Where that goes, that looks like it's up higher. Looks like it should be right here. And that's going to be the smaller ones. It looks also like I probably put them over too little close. Can't go any farther. Everything has to come back this way. That's okay. No one will know. Little highlights here and there for things, and leg. Okay, this could probably go up a little thinner. They got a little bit of a thing there. This I think could come up a little higher too. And then this out here, just gonna kick it out a little bit more that way. Okay. So there's more light over here. I don't want to get it too green over here because of that will make it a little dirty really quickly. That's the thing. Doing it like this, you're gonna make it a little, chances are this color, since it's like an opposite color stuff, it's going to, you know, come across a little dirty or dirty up the blues and gray them out, which is okay. We can work with that. So I'm just gonna make sure I got this feeling the shoulders of this guy. You know, it's okay to make them even bigger than they are, a little more, you know, a little stronger. That's okay. You don't want too wimpy of a crow. This might even, I think it's a crow. I don't, could be a raven. I'm not sure what the real differences are. Okay. I'm just going to lighten where the head's going to go a little bit better. Okay. just indications of that stick. That's all I'm gonna put in. Now I'm gonna go back in and go back, add just a little more darks to the drawing. I mean, to the outsides here a little bit. So you get the drawing a little, fix that drawing in there. Get a little motion in that. Don't lose, keep that loose, keep that hand loose. That up a little. I want to fix this corner here. This corner got a little bit, since my drawing started off wrong. Push this back in a little closer. He got a little heavy. I kind of overdid take it over a little bit. So let's take it back just a hair on this side. Usually where you have like indents like that, that's a good place to put a strong dark too in here. The background stuff really kind of gives the whole thing more action, just because these darks going against a concave or a movement like that can feel like it's pushing it, so it just adds a little strength to it. And get a little more dark up top too, not too much, because I don't want to get too close to him, because his head's gonna be pretty dark. So this kind of runny kind of stuff up here is pretty good. Speaking of runs, if I just add a little bit of oil here and let's let it run a little bit. And just do that. And let it go. We have just a little bit of everything going on. Over here too, just a little bit of oil. So I'm just loaded my brush up with just safflower oil and just basically cleaning it off on the top of the painting. And nothing will happen for a while. I mean, the streaks will just start to appear and just going to creep into the painting a little bit. But that's about it. Just something kind of goofy. All right. Let us change brushes. I'm going to change to a different brush. All right. And my darks. Going to start off those oxides, oxide red and blues. I'm going to start off with the blue one and get his feet in and start to get in some of these underneath things into the feathers and stuff. Not that they have much enough blue. Too much oxide. So definitely you're gonna see it in these feet. Kind of push, I'm gonna push his feet out, leave his feet out a little bit. I'm gonna keep them out a little bit. So this is just oxide red and blue, which on the blue side first. Just a touch too much blue. That's okay. And then going in right around his tail, there's a little area right here, and into it starts to go into his leg, and it's gonna bring that up really clean and go right into his leg and this top wing feather, bottom wing feather here. So that's oxide red and blue on the blue side. Also, while we got that here, you think about things here. You got another foot here. Can get a little bit of his feet in there. Those are just sliding little slashes. But then the bottom of his thing here, his tail, just a little softness and stuff going on here. So I'm not gonna work too hard on it. Just gonna little drag. I'm gonna fill in some of the darker tail feathers here. They are kind of dark. So I'm just gonna give them a little bit of a push to the blue side, the dark side already. Just they fan out. There's a little fanning going right in here. Don't know if I'll use it or not. But, this comes up a little higher. Okay. Then there's a dark spot right here between two wings. That dark spot needs to be warm right in here. So that's going to have a little more red in it because that's what's going to take me back into that hole. And that's what's going to give this guy definition is the, the darkness that really have really dark like this, but then you have, when you have crevices where things like kind of meet in the dark, you're going to find those are usually warm. You're going to have a really dark, but that's where they have just a little bit of red into them. So those little things, but you can't tell. Only we can tell at this point because we're right on top of it. That's what gives these things really kind of interesting definition is when you start.
Jim, quick question. Is that red oxide?
Yeah, red oxide and blue.
Okay, thanks.
This is on the definitely this is on the red side. I'm working now when it goes into the crevices of the wings, or the little holes where edges on these edges right here, or this hole right here, or this line coming down to separate the one tail feather from the other ones, and maybe down in here. Just it's coolness everywhere except for right where those little holes are or lines are. When you have lines coming down, those are going to be the oxide red showing through. That's what makes the definition. And it's cool because it's really quite subtle. The difference between a red and a blue, purple. And so that's what I'm going with right now. I am still working with on the red side, the oxide red and stuff. That's going to basically, I'm putting in the structure of the body. Where those feathers go, and I'm drawing them in. These little lines going to be going around them, and just putting in these darks first now to get the structure in. Because then after that, the structure, after the structure's in, you're pretty much done. I mean, everything else will just fall into place. It's almost painting by numbers after a while because of get kind of just follow what you got. You follow the roadmap. And then that's where this stuff's already veering off, kind of doing some nice crazy things that are going to happen in here. And then we'll just do some scrapes at the end, take some chances. It's half the thing is being willing to take a chance when you're doing feathers like this. Because a lot of people, pretty much everybody can, paint a feather and take their time and get the stuff. But sometimes, really to make these things stand out, you got to go against the grain. And that's what we'll be looking at to doing. Look like I got his head just a little wide too, I think. It's all right. I'll just push it out. I think I'm just going to, I like the height though. I don't need the height. So I'll probably take it off the bottom, but we'll see. So this is on the blue side now for the head. And I'm just going to start off with it, like I said, with a pretty dark oxide red. I mean, in blue mix, but it's on the blue side. In the middle of that head, though, right about here, I think I'm going to push the red a little bit on the inside of his head. of the shape. So inside this shape here, gonna push the red a little bit more on the outsides and pretty much coming down and keep it on the blue. And start to break down the shape, start breaking down shapes of this bird. I'll make this arc out a little bit more. This arcs out. Good. Okay. I will start adding some green into his head now. This is I'm gonna add, this is on the phthalo green and red side. It's on the red side of, or sorry, the green side of the phthalo green and phthalo green and alizarin. And it has just a little bit of white into it, so it's like the number 6 value. So it's a little green, has a little bit of green in it. It's not too much, it's more of a gray green. And that's what I'm about to put on top of his head here. Coming over. So now I'm just going to be playing with shapes here, trying to see how badly I, really did his, got this off a little bit. Sure that this shoots off nicely. I'm going to put it underneath this beak too. Probably a little bit of red too. And I'm going to go back in. So this is this color here, right here, between his eye and the beak and stuff, it has a little red in it, a little warm red. So it's I use the burnt umber and cad red mix right in here, and find it a few other spaces behind his head where it comes back. There's a little line coming from behind his eye. And that's where I'm also going to find some red. I'm going to look at a few other spots here. Maybe on the edges, a little red. All right. I'm going to go with a little bit of phthalo green, dark green, and alizarin here. Or a patch right here in his shoulder, right in here. I see kind of a little green shimmer. Now that's what we want to get this iridescence going in this guy. And that's where I was trying to get this green up here to shimmer a little bit. And I think I just kind of missed the area and stuff. I think it should have came down a little bit farther there. Right, lighten it up. Get a little bit of that green right in underneath here too. Where else this is going to blend a little bit, so I'm just scraping it in a little bit on this outsides and stuff, just to get the other colors prepared so it's not like it's a lonely color. Okay, I'm gonna go with this alizarin and phthalo green. Now I'm gonna go on the alizarin side, kind of a purple color. And I'm gonna start pushing that into the middle of the bird. Because I got the green on the outside, I want the red on the inside because I want that red to come through a little bit. So it has a little bit, it's gonna pump the volume up of the bird. So you got a little more purple red in the middle of the bird and greener on the outsides. That will make that pump a little bit. I mean, you give them a little roundness to it. Things will start to come forward just a little bit more. Same with these kind of feathers here. So this is alizarin and phthalo green. It's on the alizarin, way on the alizarin side, just a little bit of white. And I'm just gonna, just to start to spread out these wings here a little bit, the feathers on these wings on the back, and down here, getting it in these guys. Very touching. I'm not going to do very much at all about his leg. Only thing I'm going to do on him is just get a few little spots that define it. I don't want to get too involved with this leg because of getting involved with something like that will take all this other stuff more complicated. So you got to have a couple simple, clean, quiet areas. This color is really good, this red, because it's going to go with the blue really well too. And some of the phthalo greens going to be, or blue greens and stuff. Really love getting in here too. So that's why I'm going to keep pushing. It's got a little blue in here somehow, probably from touching that. So let's just clean my brush a little bit. Get this edge of this feather here. This is where it has to end. Don't want to get any closer to that edge. I kind of pushed him a little bit too far. Just trying to get him out of the center. So, which is usually a good thing. So it'll be fine. You can always make it a smaller feather, or it's just awkward. You could just take it a little bit longer and really make it a statement. Instead of being a mistake, it's a statement about that feather. So I'm just going to go and just add a little bit of blue. It's kind of starting to, figure out where these feathers are kind of going, and basically I'm painting them, with the horizontal strokes. I'm just twisting as I go around the side of the head and stuff like here, over here. I'm going to keep it a little red for now. Get this out a little bit. There we go. And then the back of his head there too, just a little bit of appear around his neck and his. Just going to work it. It's I'm not blending. I'm kind of just putting it on top of the color, but you can see all the colors through that. That's what's gonna give you the iridescence. You work it, you play with it too much, you know, it's gonna do that. That's why I'm gonna use thick paint to make the difference up. When I start putting a gob like that, you know, that's what stands out. But you gotta have these subtleties. You can get the subtleties, gotta get those guys in first, because you can't get them back after you get going. I'm gonna go with just a little bit darker version of that. I want to get this. There's a little bit of a jaw or something right here, muscle, right by his bottom, right on the back of his beak, following his beak over. Just a little highlight of a muscle. I was trying, I don't want to make it too bright. And another one right above it, the top one, before we get to the eye socket. So I probably had the eye in the wrong spot too. A little bit more light, a little more color. That color is working out pretty well. Let me see about this one. I'm going to try and start working on where the beak here kind of blends into the head. That is, I'm using oxide red and blue and purple. It's on the red, it's kind of a purple. It's almost the same colors I had there, but it's just a little grayed out. And that's what I was going to start putting on this beak on the back end here. Probably go a little bit darker. I think I'm going to go with the phthalo green and red here for bottom of this beak. I wanted kind of just want a little green showing through. Well, let's put in his eyes since we're right here too. Since everything's so dark, I kind of almost have to lighten it up a little bit around it before it can know where it's, or it won't show up. And that's that. This has just a little bit of line there. That goes over his eye. Should be a little greener. A little more color to it too. It's not showing up. A little more phthalo and blue mix. Can put that in. That brush is just a little bit big for that area there. But I want to put it in a little green because I want to probably going to think about putting his eye in kind of a very dark red. So if I can get some green around his eye, it'll pop. So I'm using the phthalo blue and green mix on the green side. And I'll be going, starting around his eye here, a little bit on the sides and up here on his head. Just pops out a little bit. That's all I wanted. Ooh, that's good. Back of his head too, a little bit of green. Won't show up too much yet till you see get a few mixes of colors next to it. All right, that eyeball. I'm going to go with blue and alizarin for that eye. I didn't mix it up. I want it on the alizarin side. Definitely has, and I want a little bit of blue too. That's pretty strong. Put in all this. With like a number 2 here, I got to put it in with. So this is just alizarin and blue. It's really on the alizarin side. It's really, really dark and white. But it's like one of the darkest colors I can kind of come up with usually. Probably butchered that. That should have went over here. Okay, let's move it over here a little bit. Yeah, that's water there. Put it back in. It'll look better with the highlight on it. That blue on the back side a little bit. So this is more on the blue side of that. Just in the back side of his eye here. And this little crease behind his eye. Make sure it's really dark there. I'm going to come back to make sure that. It's on the red side. Okay. I'm going to put the highlight on top of it. That is a purple. That would be oxide red and blue on the red side. And it's going to be probably around a 5. No long, no, not very bright. And I'm just going to hit the top part of the, on top of the eye. Then I should have stabbed it in like that. And I decided last second to lean down too far, so my brush caught a little bit too much and made it too soft, so I had to redo it. Maybe in the front side of this highlight, I might go with just a touch of warmth in the this is a burnt sienna, no, burnt umber and red, just a touch of white. And that's where I'm putting on just the front hot part of that highlight. Just it's a warm little dot. Behind it, I might go with a blue white. Behind the eye. I'll go with just get a couple little areas around here to the eyelid and stuff, just to touch a couple little dots of lightness. Light blue. This is an oxide red and blue. It's on the blue side. It's what I'm going to be using on a lot of the feathers at the end. There you go. While I got this little brush I hate in my hands, I'm going to get this, might as well do a couple of tougher little things here of, you know, getting his beak in place. Good to pay attention to what I'm doing though. I'm going to go with a little phthalo green, and I'm and burnt umber. I have burnt umber and burnt sienna and blue. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and add just a little hair of green to it, I think. For this upper part here, for this part of this beak. Might kind of change over to that burnt sienna on the bottom, I mean, on the top here. I mean, like the burnt sienna and blue. It's on the cool side of burnt sienna and blue with a lot of white. Yeah. So that's what I'll take and try and turn his beak with. Gonna leave it there. Oh, no. Got one really dark area here too. Almost as dark as his eye. It's right here by his beak, right behind his beak, right in by his mouth, right in here. Spot here. It's just as dark. But I'm gonna put in a little bit of blue. Alizarin and blue. All right. Everything else is cake. I said I'm just gonna go down in here and get a few dark flare. I'm gonna go to like a number 6 here. This is an 8. It's an 8. Okay. And started working on his back here. Just say that's pretty close for his face. That's gonna, there are gonna be probably a few more defining things put in there, but I just want to get moving on to his body now, the hard part. But we got most of it in the right places. Soften the outside edges a little bit. All right, I'm going to start with these big feathers down in here. I got the highlights in them. Let's get the darkness into the middle of them. That is going to be, I'm going to go back to the oxide red and blue mix. This is going to be on the purple side though, for these big feathers down in here. I'm going to be mostly on the kind of a purple side, but they're kind of very grayed out. So they have just a little bit of red side of it. Just have a little bit of red into them. And I'm not going to worry about things like stripes yet. I don't have to worry about the stripes. I'm going to, or the parts of the feather that comes out here. I'm just going to paint them kind of purple first, and then highlight them. When we get these other ones coming down, I'm going to put a little more green into that color, a little phthalo green into that purple. You can get these ones that kind of come behind here a little bit. You just have a little more, not as much purples, so that red will come forward a little bit too. put them back in here too. Okay. That's a good color. That's a good color. That worked out really well. Stay with that. I'm gonna put a little more green, a little greener now for this guy. Keeping that in mind on shadows, angles of shadows here. Got a pretty straight down shadow, even going more at an angle. So yeah, these purple and greens are going to be really nice for this wing right here too. Phthalo and alizarin here, going into a lot of these outside purples and stuff are going to be that color. At least that's the color I'm coming up with right now. A little stronger for that color, and work that in, I think, right inside here. Just got to get close, and then I'll lighten it and then with some of that blues and purples and stuff. So I want to go through here and see where else I can find this kind of purple and stuff. I start to find it up here in this area. So it's kind of purple green. So it has that alizarin into it. It has a little bit of blue, purple into it. A little more green on top, it seems like in here. Working its way in. So just dab it in there and gonna let the next color do all the defining. You just got to get this in the right area. About you can start to see it coming up his neck here, right in here. It starts to come up and into this area here. And that's the kind of thing that's going to start to bring out all the colors that I kind of put in there. These those cool reds and blues on the outsides. When you start putting in a slightly mid-tone color into that area, those colors start to, leap out of there. You can thing is just you don't want to get rid of them. You want to just, get it, get your color in there and let it work, but don't baby it too long. Don't overpaint it. It'll just soften up too much. You just make mud really quickly. Okay, I got this other warm purple here. I did this where I did when I took the main color and I kind of split it out and stuff. I got a couple of ones where I put a cat red into, and I'm looking for those guys right now and trying to find out where those guys go. Thought it was going to be right here behind these wings here. It looks like I went a little light in that color. Might have to come back up top and do it at a little bit darker value. Get it in here. That kind of red. Not going to go everywhere, but it's going to be in a few spots here. So it's good to get it underneath. I saw it in this wing here. And I want to get it in there. And I'm thinking about, going to tone that area down. See about a few other spots. Kind of just that color there. just a touch more red into it. It's going to bring out these edges of these wings and stuff down in here. There's just these little spots of red. Start on the outside and just kind of push it back a little bit and let it go. That's the color it's going to be on these kind of edged. Edge of those wings there. Just a little bit too perfect for strokes. You can find it on just the insides of some of these things you could use it on. Over here. That's about it. I don't even I can do doing too much more down there. But I'm looking for this color. Like I said, I could find it right in that area of the wing. I want to get it in underneath, and then I'll adjust it with the next color. Try and find it up here in his neck. There's a couple right here on the outsides, and just a little bit of it going into his head up there. Gotta check this angle of his head too. Okay. I'm gonna put it right in there too. I'm gonna put it right in just a little bit more dark. All right, good enough. All right. Well, yes, we had a very fat little. I have a very fat crow. Gonna start working some of the blue purples back into it now. Go to a different brush. Go to my. I'm staying with the synthetics. I think I'm gonna go try. I think number 10 here. Going off a little bit to do these bigger areas. When I start bringing in that blue, regular blue, this is what this does. This is the home value I made up of alizarin, carbox, oxide red and blue and white. It's on the blue side. So let's see. Just have to touch things in place with that blue and purple, just slightly drag it. this one. This is big feather on this side. A lot of colors in it, really. So I'm just trying not to wipe them all out with one color. Get that one in, and then I think I'm going to put a little gray into it, I think. Tip here. That gray I was talking about is just where I use a little bit of cadmium red into my blue gray mix. And just turn it a little cool, warm gray-ish. So I can use that back in here around this area in here a little bit. And then put in one, then when I put in these other sparkling blues and purples, they have this kind of a grayish color here to hold them down so they don't just scream out at you. Start to bring out the shoulder here. I'm going to bring it in from this inside though. Feel a little round. Sure. I'm going to get this one spot here and mark this big feather. Where that goes. Okay. Next neck collar done. These guys come down. Down. Just keeps going around here. Just keep that color going. This is basically was oxide red and blue. It's on the blue side with white, and then I split it apart, put some alizarin cad red in this one side. That's what I'm going to use on this side over here. That's what I'm using, just a little bit of this kind of warm purple on this side of it, and into just the outside edges of the feathers. Just this one little spot here. Looks like in here, some under coat showing through. All right. I'm going to go into my stronger blue version of this stuff where I use a stronger blue. See how that affects. You see that down in just a little bit down in here, the tail area, just a little bit stronger blue on one side of the feather. It's just a little more blue into it. Like I said, though, I'm not going to get too tight down here. Just going to be a soft amount of color. This one's almost too strong. Just a little bit too bright. Dirty up the color before I keep going. And this is just the fanning of the his wings here, area. I put anything in on these legs, it's just a little color on the outsides. Take you down. Same over here. Go back with that blue again. The darker version probably is a little bit better for what I need. It's just gonna, basically, it's getting less and less now. This is when it goes in a few spots here. And every time it goes in, it just like, boom, kicks it, you know, comes the real feather. Okay. Spots here on this back side. Just rounding off basically this one, this color is really good at just hitting these last little edges of these feathers. Because most of this bird was a lot of purples. And just the last few colors just swing this bird around. Yeah, it's getting a little light too, so I gotta watch that again. So that's where I'm going with a little bit deeper colors here. But I think hoping that some of these highlight colors darken in some of these light colors. But I think I already have most of this stuff done. So we're gonna go in a few spots. So really on this thing, I only had to do a few little areas where I have to really concentrate on kind of getting the feathers right. You know, and I could be way off. Okay. Sometimes you just feel like too light. Just went a little too late, too early. So a few of these darks coming back in and edging out these feathers a little bit will help. Okay. Before I go into, it's starting to get tedious and stuff, so I'm going to go back in and get a few of these stronger shadows and stuff, and make sure I get them in with a knife a little bit, loosen it up. Missing these like creases in the feathers, little areas and stuff. Yeah, a little smushy. Tip my knife, go back and kind of put in a few of them. This is oxide red and blue. Maybe you should put a little red regular cad red back into it in blue. It's richness in the color. Because a few times it just sprayed in here, kind of just lost that crease. Just being able to get that feather back in. And just get those edges, starts giving this thing much better volume. Takes the curse off of the lightness. See if I can, just a hair too light here and there. Yeah, I made a mistake. Really need to tighten that part up. Yeah. Okay. Two more of those darks in there. Back in here, the neck. What have we got here? 9 o'clock, almost time. Good, we got perfect timing. We're going. Should be done with this very quickly now. I'm gonna get this part in. And we'll have plenty of time to see how you guys did. Right in here, just need to get that grouping a little better. Okay. This angle's off. Now, I'm going to go into the few of the blue greens. And it's always going to be on this sort of stuff. It's less is more. So it's just a little bit of line, just a dot color. Mostly just to finish off a feather, basically. Or end of a feather. And they're just a little spots. So don't get them too close together. You just see it on this ribbing of these leaves or feathers right here. Just on the outside corner, just a little bit of that blue, phthalo green, white. Barely any. Just going to try just getting putting it in very sparingly. It's like gold, I guess. One good one right in here, right by this dark. Couple right up by his neck. Get that one in. And there's this bigger one just right here. A little more green in that, I think. A few of these front, where there's more light on this side, it's like a little more green version of it. Okay. Clean spots over there. That doesn't look too shabby. Now get that beak one more time. I'm going to really hit it hard now with some paint. I'm going to try and get that a little more brighter, especially like right there. Deep purple. Yeah, needs a lot more, a few more lines and things, creases, and highlights in these leaves. Like I said, these keep those ribbings, these things in here, keep them light, keep them on the purple, keep them light purple, won't keep them that warm purple. This is just has a little cad red into it, into that mix. And I'm just putting them in with that. So it's kind of a gray, very gray purple. You can use that pretty much for all the stuff. It should work out. I'm gonna take a chance and mess with it now. Let's see what we do. A little more blue green in that back. These guys a little bit more. Okay, one more. Oops. Oops. Gonna make some oops. Start bringing, I want to start now and start bringing the background into the bird a little bit more now. It's very good enough. So start making a few pushes of the brush on the outsides and stuff to loosen it up, especially up here. Boy, that's probably where I'm going to use that a little bit more light right in here. Really, there's a kind of bad drip place going right through his beak. Kind of screwed it up. What am I going to do? That's a nice blue, strong blue right here. Look for that. That's good. That worked. It's almost okay. Need just a little more strength in this color. It's just too light. Too big of blocks. Not enough turning. It's not turning it. You get a little more contrast here. Turn these wings a little bit. More reds and darks in these areas here. Better angle too. But there we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take my paint eraser and see what I can do, what damage I can do. I think the first place I would start to take a check. See if I can bring out just a little bit of things on his legs, highlights, before I go too far. Maybe look for, there's a couple little lines in here to break up my line here. A couple erases, maybe even the highlight, stronger highlight. Start with. Don't want to take it all the way off, but and then an idea of something back there. Okay. Set. Look for these little areas that are just not doing much and see if you can, just blend them out like this leaf, this wing feather here is just a little long. Maybe in the shoulder here. Losing the paint. lot of darkness, almost too dark right in here, so. Draw with it a little bit. Got a nice too many good spots here. What's that? See what that does. Okay. That's about as far as I can go. Without getting in front of it and doing a few things. I think I could probably get that tip of the beak. Trace that out. Let's start. We'll see how it goes. Did get kind of greenish again. And so here, let me bring it. Are you guys still there? Everybody gone? But there we go. We'll bring it in and you can start to see his face. Got a little bit of work to do. The background's a little gooey. I'm probably gonna, soften it a few spots and, see what else I can do to it.
It's beautiful.
It's goofy. It's goofy. Thank you.
Gorgeous.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. Thanks. It was fun. So, who's up? Ashar's up right away. She's the first one. Jeannie's here. I can't believe Jeannie. Did you paint?
I know. I didn't. Started too late to mix my colors, so I'm glad I got to watch, but I will definitely paint them.
No. I'm glad to hear. See you're back from Florida.
Oh, it was nice.
Yeah. You brought the weather with you. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
All right, let's go with Shar. Shar, let's see what you have. Shar should knock this out of the park. Oh, damn it.
Mhm.
Too bad, Shar. Yeah, you missed this one really bad. That's really too sad. I don't know why you
It
even
looks
came to
bluer.
class.
It looks bluer on the monitor than it is.
Is it? That's
Yeah.
okay.
It's not that blue.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That is really dynamic. Good job. What'd you think about playing with the background, letting that work out a little bit?
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just almost, it's one of those things you keep playing with it, then you kind of ruin it. So take it easy. I would say still, you could probably a couple places. You got a great bird, great drawing. I would say still little places softening the back his back of his head to his back shoulder there. Probably a couple good areas to kind of break in there a little bit. But great job on those feathers. Those bottom ones really just sing. And he's working out really quite nice. I mean, it was the big feathers you hit.
Yeah.
Really hit him nicely. And he stands out really quite nice. Punch up the lightness on the beak. And
Okay.
I think it's hard to tell, but
Yeah.
I think you might be able to get a good clean spot out of that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. That does look pretty good, but I still think just a little bit of just a little lighter there, and make sure his highlights in his eye are really clean and in dark pupils.
Yeah, it's so
What-
small, I might kind of let it dry a little bit and then,
No worries, no worries.
Wow.
Yeah, that is fine. So, otherwise, wow, that's a great looking bird. Good job
thank you.
and stuff. Okay, Kathleen, we're going to you.
Uh-oh, well, trying to figure out
Uh-oh.
how to do this again. Let's see.
Oh yeah. Hey, did you get a haircut?
No, my hair's just up. Didn't wash it today.
Oh,
let's-
okay. I just want to make
Oh,
sure.
wait, okay, I think I got it. No,
Hey,
shoot. Oh, wait, hold on. There.
oh wow. Oh shit.
No, it's not
Oh.
good.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Well,
That's fabulous.
well, thank you. I've never tried one before, but I feel he's too much in the middle, and then I
No,
feel
his
like all
head.
my colors look the
You gotta
same,
go.
but
You go by his head. His head's way up top. It's off to the side. It's perfect.
Okay.
It's really good. I would say
Well,
you
thank
might
you.
even want to take it. You might want to pull his back wing towards the, what is it, the left side of the panel and stuff, just where the wings are pointing. on,
this one?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
the wing right above it. The wing right
Oh.
above it. You might be able to pull that one.
See a
Over
little
to the
too
left.
round?
Oh, yeah. I'm just saying he might want to
Oh.
pull that off over there just a little bit more.
Okay.
But his head looks
one.
great. Yeah.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm not sure what to do with the background, but I'm gonna watch your video again though, because I've been watching it on my
No,
phone.
no. You gotta live with what you got now. That is
Okay.
gorgeous. That's a
Well,
lot of fun. I would say just work on, just like you're doing down below, is just working on the highlights, pulling the highlights out of what he's standing on, and
Okay.
make that it's a branch,
Yeah,
is good enough, it really is. And then just kind of getting his feet to kind
Little
of come
more
down and
anchored.
wrap around it a little bit is really cool.
sure.
Yeah. Watch his, you got his beak, you got everything in there. Yeah, it's gonna be really nice.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think what's happening in there, you just got to watch the drips and let them go, and they're gonna have some fun. And you might have to come back in and repaint
Put-
part of his beak because
Yeah, it kind
it
of
will
got
draw
dripped
it
out.
yeah, it will wipe it out, but it's still kind of fun just to let
Yeah.
that go through the whole thing and see what happens.
Yeah, I like the looseness of the drips, but I thought I probably need to add more paint to it though, right? I mean,
You on the outsides, no, you might and stuff. I always like to see what's going to happen and stuff. Sometimes just kind of it's just kind of makes a river of it and runs away. But
Yeah.
there's some fun things you got going in there.
okay,
Really
well,
do.
thank you. Well, I'll watch the video again and I'm sure I'll have a better idea too. But thanks.
No worries. It's really nice. Don't go changing it too much.
Okay, I'll try not to.
Okay. Don't overwork it.
Okay,
Okay.
all
Kat,
right.
We got
Thanks, Susan.
Ann. Come on, turn your stuff on, Ann. Don't be a chicken. Kathy Weiss, turn your stuff on. So you too,
No,
Lisa.
I don't have anything to show you. I really don't. I got lost in the drawing in the beginning and just sat and watched. So I'm gonna do the video and see where I go with it.
How could you get lost in that? It was
I
too
know,
easy.
you know what? I got so bad at my drawing that I kept, screwing it up, and then before I knew it, I had mud. So.
It happens, yeah. That's why you gotta you can put them in and you just kind of leave them. You can't just keep mixing because it just makes mud really quickly.
Yeah, you cannot keep working it, and I should know better.
Okay, you should.
I don't.
Okay, for your penalty, you must finish it and put it on the site. I want Facebook. We want everybody to, get a gander of what you're doing.
Okay.
That's a tough penalty. Okay, Kathy Weiss, did you paint? She's sleeping. I'm guessing she's sleeping. She must be sleeping already. She's the East Coast girl. Lisa?
Started
We're
with a background that, can you see me?
No, we can't. You turned the mic on, but then you shut off your video. There you go. Hold on. Here you come. There she is. She's
So
not moving.
background from something else I had worked on. So it's really dark. Oh,
Oh,
gosh.
cool.
But it's sort of circusy. I have to play with it again. I had fun.
Circusy.
Yeah, circus. I
Okay.
had,
It looks,
I enjoyed it, but I'll have to just play with it again.
Okay. All right. So did you paint? You painted over your woodpecker, didn't you?
No, I painted over actually. No, the woodpecker still exists. It's
Okay, I would check with you.
dark in the background, so I just sort of put the bird on top. But it was just
Okay.
a play, but it was fun.
Keep playing with it. It's not done. You can fix it. You can finish it off.
Right now, it's very thick with paint because I just kept layering over it. And I was experimenting with feathers and yeah, I'll play with it again. You'll see it again.
It's I know. The more you play with that and add stuff to it, the more it'll come. It's really good. It looks great. I thought the background was fun with it even. So
But it needs
Yeah.
needs some.
yeah, you got to figure out the drawing just a little bit more in the shoulders. I think the shoulders are off, but most of that stuff you can get when you take some time and
Everything's off. I'm
Yeah.
not a painter. I'm a slow painter. So you're lucky I actually showed it.
that's nice though. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
Congrats. Keep going. All
Thanks.
right. Let's see. Lisa. Where is Lisa? Lisa. Okay, Lisa. Let's see what you did. Lisa's. Oh yeah, I knew she'd do something stupid. Look, what did you do? What did you do?
wow.
Do it all pastel, so now he's a seagull.
Wow, those are fabulous feathers. Those are beautiful. Wait up. Those things just are gorgeous.
I think they'll pop,
Wow.
put some shadows under them.
Yeah. I mean, that really looks great. Yeah, I'd say, you're going to probably look at his beak a little bit. Probably looks a little
Yeah.
thick. Yeah, a little heavy in the beak, but everything else is, wow, those feathers just around his neck and coming down and go. Those are gorgeous strokes. And yeah, I want to see what you do with the background. The background has some really great color in it too. Yeah, I know you're going to paint everything in the background, but
I didn't. I just rolled a paper towel over it.
I know. I figured though, now you'll go back into it and paint every leaf and bush and everything else in back there. But I don't care. I don't care. This is gorgeous. That's the thing is, even if you mess up the background, it's oils, you can always repaint it, clean it up, and you can go in another direction. You can clean up little smudges and things like that. Very cool. That's really gorgeous, man. Congrats so
Beautiful.
far. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, who else is here? Did I miss anybody? Lisa's gone. Ann already took off. Yeah, okay. They're beautiful, Lisa. Okay, I think that's it then. That's everybody. Thanks for coming, guys, and sticking with me through these 8 weeks or 9 weeks, really. Let's see. Yeah, we'll start up again probably. I think it's like this right after Easter, really. Hopefully, you guys are okay with that. Monday after Easter, we'll be, you guys don't have any religious things to go to or anything.
Perfect.
On your website? You have an 8-week or 6-week program on your website?
Yeah, it's gonna be probably I'll look at it and see how it fits in there and see if we can try to get it done by, June-ish, middle of June. So it's probably be about 8 weeks. I'll count them out and stuff. I think there's 1 week I'm gonna be gone, so we'll probably have to make it up. And I think there's probably a Memorial Day in there and stuff like that. So, but we'll figure it out. And I'll get that up on the website, and then I'll let you guys know on the students site on Facebook that we're ready to go.
Great.
Okay.
Sounds great.
You.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks
Thanks
for a great
for
session.
Great class.
Yes, all of them were.
It's a lot of fun.
It is.
No, you guys, thanks for coming and playing. I appreciate it.
Very good. Thanks,
We've
Jim.
learned a lot. Thank you.
Bye.
Th-
See you
Thanks,
next time.
guys. All right, we will see you all later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, John boy.